and welcome to a new and improved In 90 Minutes podcast. Happy Monday. Happy preseason Monday, gentlemen. My name is Ahmed Salim. Alongside me here, as every week, are the merry band of misfits, Misael, David, and John. Gentlemen, how are you doing this fabulous preseason Monday? Everybody doing good?
Doing well.
Yep,
All
I'm
right.
good.
We have a lot to talk about, unlike last time. We have a lot to talk about. But before we do that, just make sure you follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch, Blue Sky at In 90 Minutes Podcast if you don't already. And we'll be live on Mondays on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. The list keeps growing. I'm losing track, but we appreciate you following and joining us. So, gentlemen, where do we begin? Do we start it this weekend and then work our way back? Why don't we do that, right?
Sure.
So this past weekend, we had there was a game, a season ticket member game where the Orlando City Lions, the 2025 Lions, took on CF Montreal in what was supposed to be a friendly match. I say friendly because if you were there were some times when it was like, this is a friendly? How many times were there like close to brawls, guys? It was like at least twice, right?
Two or three times in the first
Yeah.
half.
I was like, really? This is like the season. I can't. If this is how it is before the season, can you imagine when we play them during the regular season? That's going to be interesting. Anyway, so me personally, I had a this weekend. As I do most weekends, I had a soccer tournament. Right. I was up in Seminole with my son, and I'll show you guys a picture of it later. They won their age group, so big shout out to Orlando City South Soccer Schools for that. But on the way back of day one, in the car, we're sitting there. I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning, drove my butt all the way to Seminole, sat there for two games, and we're coming back after the second game. And my son's like, "Dad." I'm like, "What are you looking forward to, man?" He's like, "I want to see Muriel score a hat trick." He was, but you know what? He didn't think Muriel was going to score a hat trick, but he was looking forward to seeing Muriel, right? I was like, okay. I'm like, I don't think that's going to happen, but you know what? Maybe in the off season, Muriel's done his thing and he's up and running, and we get there and we see the teams warming up, and I'm like, where's Muriel? Or where's Duncan, or where, like, there was I want to say there was about like a handful of players that I was like, where are they? They were like MIA. So as we're sitting there, my son points out to me because we were sitting on the east side, right? My son points out to me, he's like, "Dad, there's a bunch of people sitting up there." So I take my brand new shiny iPhone and I go to 25x on the Zoom, and lo and behold, guess what? Muriel's up there, Duncan's up there, uh, um, Ramiro's up there. A bunch of people are up there, and I'm like, why are they up there and not down with us? I mean, even if they can't play, because I know we were talking about it, David, and you guys were saying that he was injured, but my son was saying, but Dad, Duncan was practicing with the guys. I'm not even saying from my perspective, right? Like, look at it from the eyes of a 12-year-old. They're coming there to see the players that they're expecting to see, and it's like deflated, So anyway, I was a little disappointed with that. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Game overall, I didn't. There was nothing. I wasn't like wow. However, our new Croatian addition was impressive when he was on the ball. I'll say that. But that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna save my commentary about our signings and everything for later. I'll let you all do that fun work. So who wants to go next?
I can go because I think it was just me and David and you there, Miss I. You had to miss it, right? Because you had tickets
Yeah,
to
yeah, I
MegaCon.
didn't make it. I was at MegaCon, yeah.
Yeah, I personally I enjoyed it. I personally like the one they did 2 years ago a little bit better than what they did Saturday, since they had the whole stadium open. You could go to different areas that you usually couldn't go. That you like. We have supporter section tickets. You pretty much stay in the supporter section during the matches, so we were able to move around the stadium a little bit and see where where we wanted to like if we wanted to move our seats in the future or anything. Whereas Saturday was you only had it on the east side. But as far as the play goes, we'll see what the new signings do. See if we look any different with a MLS caliber striker. No offense to Shaq Muhammad, but he is not an MLS striker. He's more of a winger. And they tried him in there at the number 9 role, and it did not pan out. But yeah, I can't wait to see what Marco does. The couple times he touched the ball was exciting. He had that one where he just cut straight through the middle of the defense in the second half. That was we haven't had anybody do that in a very long time, probably since Nani. Honestly, not comparing him to Nani, but I was impressed by him. Very positive and encouraging. Um, but if he doesn't pan out or he slows down or has a slow start and any of the new signings don't take off, it's going to be a long year because honestly, other than him, it looked like a lot of the same old. Sorry, the midfielder, our draft pick, was also impressive. But he's not going to play much since we just had the signing today, which we'll go over later. But yeah, if our strikers don't make an impact and Marco doesn't make an impact very quickly, it'll be a long season, especially first half of the season, since we always somehow seem to you know pull out a streak during the summer of the last 2 years. We'll have to wait and see, but it was a very boring game except for the fights. Potential fights look like a regular MLS game.
I was so surprised when that was happening, man. And even the level of physicality, like I get it. It's a match is a match is a match. But I mean, nobody want Sukata was carried out, bro. Not
Yeah.
carried out, but that's not what you want. Between that and the freaking Inter and Co Cup, it's like I don't want to do any more preseason matches at
Well,
that
and
rate.
you missed possibly the worst one,
Yeah.
which was in the second half when it might have even been in the 30-minute extra period that they did. Um, Solis absolutely made number 11 for Montreal look like a U10 player. I mean, the dude nutmegged him twice, and the dude was spinning in circles, and then just chopped him. And it's like, dude, come on, like, get the guy off the field. This is a friendly. Two, you do that in a regular game, it's probably going to be a straight red, and the ref just called a foul for it. I mean, yellow cards and friendlies are cynical, but if you know that their striker was out of control the entire match.
Yeah.
I didn't see what happened with him and Schlegel when Schlegel went down. But it's like, at some point the referees have to take control, even if it is a friendly, and start dishing out yellow cards because teams still have fines for yellow cards and red cards, even if it is a friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was in the first half, it was getting on the verge of being ugly.
I know. I was surprised, honestly. I was very surprised.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The It seemed to me that the game was getting out of hand for the ref. He was not up to task for the occasion. The line officers were atrocious, but it was nice to get out of the house on a Saturday, go watch some football. The fan base that was there was very happy, very excited. It was very nice. I would like to recognize our friend Stu Wilkins, Bradford City man, who happened to be in town visiting, and he joined John and I at the game, and he couldn't just stop talking about how great the atmosphere was and the stadium and everything. And the last thing he said to me was, "You guys have nothing to envy. This is a proper football ground with a proper football crowd." And he really was having the time of his life. And I was like, "Wow, this is just a scrimmage, a glorified scrimmage," and he was just having a good time. I thought the game was very fun. It was good to see a lot of friends that we haven't seen for a while, and not for nothing. Thank you to the club for taking care of us on that occasion. I heard some people missed out because then they were not aware the fact that the tickets were available for season ticket holders. Hopefully, the club can sort that out, and I'm sorry that those guys missed the opportunity. But it was fun. The To me, everything was great. Marco, I'm gonna call him right now, the Dalmatian Dynamo, uh, was incredible. And on a fun fact, my cousin Jadira married a Croatian 20 years ago. Good Joe Basilic over there in Queens, New York. And so I'm familiar with the Croatians. They out of the former Yugoslavia, the Croatians inherited the football. I mean, they're very good at it. And fun fact, with David Brekalo, that's two players from the former Yugoslavia that we have in our roster. So that's interesting. But I know he looked like a guy that had been playing for a while, which I kept saying this mantra of, oh, they need time to gel. Listen, David Brekalo needs a GPS to get home at this point. Okay, he needs a GPS to get to his house, and he was out there playing with those guys like they knew that he knew them from back in the day in the neighborhood. And then on top of that, the French kid that we drafted, Gerbet. Hopefully I'm saying his last name correct. Wow, when he hit that crossbar, had that ball gone in, I told John and Stu, I said, just put toner on the printer, start printing that contract. I was impressed. Once again, Orlando City nails it at the draft. People that I never knew who they were. We draft them all of a sudden. I'm like, wow, we really got this diamond out of the draft. So it was pretty cool. I know that the end result was 2-1, but it was like after 90 minutes they had played like an extra 30. A lot of people had other things to do. My wife was home with the kids, and I had to come home for that because I had told her, hey, I'm gonna be away from this time to this time. So you have to have responsibilities. You can screw over people, and a lot of people just like that, they had other things going on, and I left, and obviously I missed all the goals. Personally, I'm not too crazy about the fact that, quote unquote, we lost, because we had our C team out there, and unfortunately that's what happens. And the purpose of the friendly wasn't to win, was to give minutes to people, and see different combinations and play different things, and mission accomplished. Because in the past we have won friendlies, left, right, and up and down, and then the season sucks. So the wins in friendlies to me, it means nothing. But it was a fantastic night, great. And I finished with this: the downside of the night was the season ticket holder gift. Underwhelming once again. um I promise you guys that next Monday I will have the 2019 season ticket holder gift, that to me is probably the best ever. And I'm not asking for much. The fact is that once again you put in a very poorly built scarf, at least better than last year. Okay, I'll give you that. The patch wasn't that bad, but you're giving me a patch, you're giving me the scarf, and nothing of value in a plastic bag. Nothing of value. The club used to have the little tin cans, and then it was like
Yeah.
and there was discount coupons and things in there. It was memorable. Give me something that is gonna be of collector value. You know what? They could have done it. They would have saved a bunch of money. Give me something signed by the players, a poster, something that I want to put on my wall. Those scarves, I'm sorry, we live in Florida. When am I gonna use them? Never. And the patches, I keep him as memorabilia, but I don't put patches on anything. It's not 1980s where you used to get the stuff that used to iron on you. We don't do that anymore. So with that, I think I'm gonna be honest with you. Just give me nothing. If next year, and I know that they're listening at the club, if next year you're gonna treat us like that, just don't give us anything. Honest to God, don't give us anything. Give me, hand me $10. Let's do that. Don't give us anything if you're gonna put that little effort. And you know what? The former regime, the ownership that were broke and that got the DPs wrong all the time and never made playoffs. Those guys understood the mission and they gave us something of value. And I was so excited because I figured, hey, the poor house is over. The Wolves are gonna give us something to remember. And sadly, misfire again. Misfire. You know what was better this weekend other than the season ticket holder gift? Uh the Super Bowl halftime show. That was better. That was better than the gift.
You know what's crazy, David? It's not even like they don't do stuff like that. Because during the season, like I don't remember when it was last season, they had a packet. They had like when they do like a 2 ticket package or something. I don't remember what it was last season. They had a set of Orlando City rocks glasses with the purchase of 2 tickets or something like that. Like what?
Yeah, I remember that. It was like the 4 game package,
Yeah,
and then
and you get a
and
pair of glasses.
bro, you know what? I was so angry. I'm like, there's people out there paying 10 grand for a suite, and all they get is that the scarf. Last year, the scarf was like the font on the lettering was so dark that on TV when people will like lift the scarf, it's just a purple fabric.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, no, and then they put them on those plastic bags with the club logo. It looks like a Bed Bath and Beyond. I'm sorry, man. We deserve all the criticism, all the clowning from other clubs. Other clubs get shirts, jerseys, some sort of figurine. I think Atlanta had like a LP. First of all, it looks cool, but who has a record player? I haven't owned a record player since 1987. Okay, and it was like the little record players that you bought the Disney book, and it will come with the record. You will play it, and it will the bell will come on so you can turn the page over. You guys remember that?
Uh, I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie. I'll take the gold record over what we
Yeah, for sure, brother, for sure.
Oh my
But
god.
anyways, Miss Al, you were not there. What's your impression of what you got to see on social media?
got. It just looks like the same thing that we've gotten the last couple years. Like you said, the patch did look better, but still, it's. I also use very little of the patches. I just keep piling it up in my closet, as like Orlando City memorabilia. Um, But yeah, I remember those days, like you said, with the little tin, and it come with magnets in it. And I remember one year they gave us, it was like a ticket book where it was like to all the games, even though we're not using paper. Obviously, we use our phones to get in, but it was still something cool to have. I'd rather have that than, like you said, the scarf that we're probably barely gonna use.
You guys remember when we made playoffs the first time? They were giving out this. It was like a
The
press pass
lanyard,
type of thing.
yeah, yeah,
I still have that, brother. I
I
still
still have
have
that. It was
that.
against NYCFC.
Yeah, I still have that. I mean, there's the scarves that we had, not the scarves, but the towels. I have collected so many of them. There's I think, and I know that there's new people at the front office. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I want to, and we got comments. We're gonna get to those in a second. I want the club to understand that our fan base needs so little and demands so little. All we want is time to meet the players, tell them how much we love them, an opportunity to mingle with the players. We want something that we can take home, and I know I'm not the only sicko. There's a lot of you out there that have like off your man cave, your home office, your garage, just full of Orlando City memorabilia. You guys know who you are. And that's all I want. That's all I need. And I think you know for a lot of people to put money up front on season tickets with no expectation of anything, because you're truly putting your money in faith, that the season's gonna be memorable, it's gonna be entertaining, and it's gonna be fun. I personally, I think that we could have done better. And you know what, I have to say it. Every time I run into Jared Dillon, I always tell him how much of a agent of change he has been for the club, and how many things have gone better under his leadership. But I don't know if he has his hand on the season ticket holder gift, but it has been very poor, man. It has been very poor, and since it's already what, 5 years, 6 years since they took over, and the reality is that it's underwhelming. It really is, and and for a club that has its aspirations to bigger and better things, we should do better. So if you guys want to go to the comments.
Yes, yes, because they're piling up. So we have Jim D. Jim D, thank you for watching, my friend. Jim says, I thought we played decent in our own half, played out of tight spaces, etc. In the attacking third, it was lacking, obviously. Yes. And then Stu, thank you for watching, Stu. It was nice to meet you.
My
He says,
brother.
evening, guys. I don't know if you can see
Stewart.
this message. It was great
Yeah.
to, yeah. Victor Rosa says, last year they should have given us an Open Cup championship replica ring. That is one of the best
Amen. Even if it
ideas
was
I've heard.
plastic, I would have taken that.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
when Columbus Crew won the MLS Cup, they were selling replicas for like $30. Not like
Absolutely.
not like they did to us, where they were like, let's get this
100.
one for like
No,
four or five
they
hundred
were
dollars
yeah,
here.
they were $400, David.
Wow.
Yeah, 400 bucks,
400.
and then, yeah,
And
that's
Jim,
crazy. Like,
When I hit on it last year too about the rings, like you see in baseball, I still have one. I was a year old. My parents got me from one of the games. From the Reds World Series in 1990. Like you can get them for cheap. It's a little metal thing that has some weight to it, and it's painted like the ring is. Like I mean,
yeah,
I will give the club the benefit of the doubt because we're what 3 years later, and Pato just got his ring. So
yeah, that was
yeah,
funny.
that's insane.
That was funny, man. And then Jim D says the gift was silly. If they don't want to spend the money, co-brand it and make it decent. Ford, Interco, and whatever. Just make it quality, not Timo OCSC. Amen to that, man.
and the hard part about the gifts is you see what the Wolves did with the Vikings, how they bought 10,000 tickets for their playoff game. You would never see
Yeah,
them do that for Orlando City.
yeah,
They're
no,
just here to rake in the money from us.
yeah. And Victor said the Phillies gave out replica rings on a Tuesday night against the Marlins. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Stu says, you're a fantastic advert for American soccer. The club is building slowly and in the right way. The good times are just around the corner. Up the Lions.
Thank you, my
Thank
brother.
you.
And
Thank you. Yes.
and Stu, we hope to see
sure.
you soon on a game that matters. And I'll say this again, in case you didn't catch it. Stu had some nice words about our club, the fan base, the occasion. And here's a man that follows a club in League Two, and one that has a ton of history, that has nothing to envy anybody, and with a beautiful ground. And the fact of the matter is that when people like Stu and our good friend Tom Lord from Bolton, and our friend Dan, who follows Nottingham Forest, and our good friend, Taylor Williams from Orlando City, UK. Those guys, when those guys, Kevin Reed, my good friend Kevin Reed from Stevenage, when those guys, who follow this club, who they say what they say, I take a face value, man, because they really have no reason to give us props if they don't mean it. And I hope that the club understands that we need to reach out to those folks that come here on vacation and they probably want to catch some football. We need to do that. We need to advertise on iDrive. We need to provide transportation from iDrive to the stadium. I'm telling you, one of the things, and I say this jokingly sometimes, but I'm starting to believe in myself. I'm tired of us, the podcasters, all the podcasts out there that cover Orlando City, giving this club ideas for free on how to make money. And the club needs to capitalize on that, because I tell you what, I this past December I went to Orlando Magic game with my youngest son, who's a big Magic fan, and it was Jewish Heritage Night, so it was more of an incentive to go, and we went and we had a great time. But ticket wise, almost $200. With the food, I mean, it was expensive between food, tickets, expensive proposition. Orlando City, pound per pound, in this town keeps being the most affordable live sporting event that you can go to. Okay, that continues to be that, and it's exciting and it's fun, and nothing to take away from the Magic. They won in spectacular fashion, last minute, and all that. But basketball is not football. Football is the emotion and everything. And I gotta tell you that what we have is something special, and I hope the club capitalizes on that, because the fact is that sometimes I feel that there's no excitement, and they had the event today, the Magnet Monday. I was unable to make it because I was working out of town, but it was well attended. Okay, listen. The last time I went to one of those events was at Canes in Lake Nona to see Duncan McGuire, and to see about 1,000 people show up on a Tuesday night into some random fast food joint in one of the most inaccessible parts of this town. That's it, son. That has to say something. I saw people driving up to an hour to go to this event, and we still have things to do. I know people are mad about we didn't have a 5K marathon this year, and I have to say this: I never went. Obviously, by my physique, you guys know I don't run anywhere. I haven't in the last 30 years since I got out of the service. But we complain that a lot of people say, oh, we don't have any traditions, we don't have any culture. The 5K was something that people look forward to every year, and
I do
perhaps
it every year.
something happened beyond the club's hands that couldn't happen. But these are the type of things that we need to do, that we need to keep up, because it's what motivates the people. The Orlando City, the institution, is more than just what happens in those 90 minutes at game time. It's the whole thing, and I know people are disappointed. So hopefully, some people can hear this at the club. I know that the person managing the media is a good friend of the podcast or the podcasters.
Hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's being a change of command in communications, and obviously, I'm not afraid to say it. I think it's a change that should happen a long time ago, and hopefully the person taking over will be someone who wants to reach out to guys like us that give this club advertising for free, just because we love Orlando. I mean, I love Orlando City and the friends that I made through the club. So I'll stop rambling, and I guess we
Well,
can
you
talk.
bring up an interesting point, David, about podcasts. But I'm going to take it a step further and just say, season ticket holders, David, I know you're a lot the way I am. I'm sure Ahmed and Misael are the same way. But like, I meet somebody new, and if I find out they like sports whatsoever, that's basically all I talk about is going to an Orlando City match
Absolutely.
to a point, trying
Yep.
to get people there, trying to fill the stadium and, get more bodies there. More bodies means, more money for the club to hopefully spend on players and facilities and, you know, staff and all of that. And, for them to smack us in the face with, 3 straight seasons of just the 3 that I've been a season ticket member, 3 straight seasons of a lackluster gift. And we're not asking for much, just something that's a keepsake. I mean, I have a stack of scarves just from being around the club that I don't know what to do with. and it's a smack in the face. And one other observation I had from Saturday that I'll and we harped on it last year as well is just the what are we doing with the pitch? We had for several years when the stadium first opened, one of the top rated by the players, top rated pitches in the entire league, and now it's a disaster. I mean, you look at all four corners by the where the corner flags are, the sidelines, where the goalies stand. I mean, what did they do this? Did they just let it sit there and mow it every couple weeks?
A lot of patches.
Yeah, and they just patched it and hopefully it'll grow. It's not going to grow, and it's going to look, it's going to come and be June again and look just as bad as it's looked, and then they're going to throw another more turf on there when we have a bye week or a couple of way matches in a row, and it's not even going to give it time to take, and then it's just going to be a continuous cycle, and it's like it's almost the pitch the way it looked Saturday was borderline embarrassing in my opinion.
We used to have a groundkeeper in our first years in the league. That the guy, first of all, I did not know that you can do a bachelor's in lawn care. With humility, I tell you this: the guy was a professional. I remember him on social media posting on the off season when he would go to seminars about growing grass and doing all these things, and our pitch was just beautiful. I don't know the person that took over. I don't know who's the groundskeeper. And my apologies. I don't want to talk bad about people that I have no idea who they are or whatever. But you know, we have to critique correctly, like John said, that the pitch left a little bit to be desired. To be devil's advocate, I said, well, perhaps because it's winter, and I know people were getting on me on this. I know on paper it's winter, it's Florida, whatever, but it's our dry season in the winter here, and so the upkeep of the grass, it's not, it's difficult, and obviously you gotta there's less sun and all those type of things. So I don't know. I'm not gonna
But
talk about
there's
something I don't know.
there's things that they can do. I mean, I'm not saying I know everything, but I um, worked for the maintenance crew at several golf courses, and follow many people on social media that have amazing lawns and such. And if a guy in the middle of Michigan, under several feet of snow, can keep a pretty decent sized yard green the entire winter, which he does. He uncovers it, he mows it a little bit. Up there, I think with the millions and billions of dollars our owners have, they could invest enough money to keep our field looking the way it should, and to fix the issues. You're always going to have issues, but once they get so far, there's not much you can do with it without dumping a bunch of money into it. And I feel like we're very, very close to that tipping point.
I'm not. I'm gonna agree with you on that. I know there's two types of people in clubs that I have a fascination with: the groundkeepers and the kitmen. I think they have incredible jobs that are underrated by a lot of the fan base. And not for nothing. Look, my club Stevenage in England had issues with the pitch for a long time. They threw 100,000 pounds into it. They hire a guy with the expertise, and the place looks pristine. It looks beautiful. It's like the top of a pool table. So, here, to me, the expectation is that we're gonna look best, and it left a lot to be desired. Just food for thought. There's more events coming up for the club. Next Wednesday, we are gonna have the opportunity to talk to Luis Musi and Oscar Pareja. And my exhortation to everybody is, if you're gonna go to this event, first of all, the Luis and Oscar are doing something that not every club in MLS does, which is to put themselves out there to be critiqued to be grilled by the fan base. So go and be ready, be prepared with questions that well, things that you want to know, because that's what that event is for. It's for the people that invest on this club, the people that bleed purple, to go and find out how is our season gonna develop and what are the plans to get over the hump and reach the promised land. Last year, I have to say, and this is coming from Oscar because he told me, I don't want to throw him out there because he told me in confidence, and perhaps I'm violating that. He told me, hey, I was expecting better questions, but people were very timid. If you're gonna go out there to ask him what's his favorite restaurant, kind of wonder where he likes, you're wasting his time. Let's go out there and ask tough questions, okay? Let's go ask tough questions, and so next Wednesday, hopefully, we're gonna have a good event.
All right. So back to our signings. We've had quite a few. Last time we spoke, we were talking about we haven't signed anybody. We haven't signed anybody. So I'm willing to bet that somebody was listening. They probably weren't. They were probably just like dragging on it. But since then, I think there have been quite a few signings, haven't there been, John?
Yeah, we've signed. I think since that time, we've officially signed 4 people, 3 to the senior team and 1 to Orlando City B. Obviously, everybody knows about the Marco signing and the Atueta signing. Nicholas Rodriguez should be made club official here shortly. Um, he is. I learned. I think it was yesterday. He is with the club. It was either yesterday or early this morning. He is in Orlando. The source I have said that he completed his physical today, and that's really the last step before pen gets put to paper. And then there was also Orlando City B. They signed a center back from France, a 20-year-old. It's a reserve signing, so he'll be mainly on Orlando City B unless he comes and um, tears up MLS Next Pro and supplants Thomas Williams from being our fourth center back. I feel like I'm forgetting one.
Eduardo Tuesta.
I
Oh,
said
he said it.
Cuesta, yeah, that was announced today. Obviously, I feel he may have a bigger impact than Marco will. He's a little bit different midfielder than Cartagena is or was, however you want to put it. He's a little bit more of a box to box, a little bit more of an attacking threat. Uh, better passer, better distributor in the attacking third than Cartagena was, but is right there with him defensively. Probably couldn't step into a center back role if you asked him to, but it'll be exciting to see what he's able to do with us. Signed him on a 1-year contract with an option for the 2026 year. Obviously, we want to see how he plays out, how Cartagena um, wants to, heals with his knee, because as we said in the past, or I'm sorry, his Achilles, that can be a pretty gruesome injury that can really hamper somebody's athletic ability going forward, where they're just never the same athlete they were before. Um, so that's might be one of the better signings potentially we've ever had is signing Atueta. You look at what he did with LAFC, winning the U.S. Open Cup, making an MLS Cup final. I don't recall if he won it with LAFC a couple years ago, and then more recently he's been down in Brazil, coming in pretty consistently off the bench. I started a couple matches as well, but he's a big signing. I don't believe that he is a designated player because we got him on a free transfer. He terminated his contract with Palmeiras and then signed for free with us. Obviously, we're paying a salary, but we didn't have to pay a transfer fee. There's only a sell on clause in there. So if we sell a Tueta for X amount, Palmeiras gets a certain percentage of that kicked back to him.
Nice. Was it Augustine Soria? Was the one that you were thinking about, John?
Possibly. That's one that came across
Yeah, but
today.
he's not official yet,
Yeah, that's
right?
not official. That's still a rumor. It's still a very loose rumor.
Okay.
The individual that you're showing the post there, um, it hasn't been confirmed by anybody big, by Tom Bogert or anybody like that, and nobody that I talked to has confirmed it either, that there was an offer. But that would be a nice signing. That'd probably be a young designated player U22 initiative signing, give us some much needed depth there. He ironically um, can also play right back. I thought that was funny, since the last, not the last midfielder, but one of the last midfielders that we purchased, um, was Dagger Dan, and he transitioned into a right back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the Atuesta confirmation from Tom. And then
Okay.
it's the Orlando City B player. Noham is his first name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because I will absolutely butcher it. But he's from, has been born in
Algeria.
France, and the citizenship is in Algeria. I think I should have given that to you as well. His prior club.
All good. All good.
Yeah, I believe he is a product of a French club, and listen, we'll take anybody that is willing to put the ball behind the net. I mean, that's how it is, brother. I think that we should be very proud that we're finally building a legacy and that we have players in the pipeline. Because one of the things that a lot of people have said to us is there's a lot of clubs in MLS that are built for right now, and if they don't get anything, it's just a wasted opportunity. But at least with us, we've been a slow burn for a while. And I know a lot of people are like, "Hey, man, 11 seasons, 10 years. When is it gonna happen for us?" Well, following a football club is never about the wins. It's never about the instant gratification. I've said it many times. If you want instant gratification, this is not the sport for you. This is about following the club. It football is a lifetime of misery interrupted by brief moments of joy. That's basically how it is.
The club he was with, the previous club was Genoa FC
There you go.
in Italy. Just looked it up while you guys were talking.
Yeah, I mean, David Stewart, said it multiple times about how we're, kind of what his comment said, how we're, the Orlando City's doing it the right way. We're, generally building from within, making these smaller signings for younger talent, and really letting them flourish. And he didn't say this part, but and start a family here in Orlando. Because I believe it was Dagger Dan I just saw over the off seasons expecting a child as well. Um, and or maybe it was Ariel. I don't. I one or the other, or maybe both.
Both.
Okay, there you go. Facundo had started a family here. Schlegel started a family here. A lot of the guys, I'm pretty sure Ojeda has a daughter that was born here. So we really have a good place for young players to come and really mature and grow, and not just in soccer, as human beings. And I mean, you think about where we came from in 2017, 18, 19, with it felt like anyway every other week one of our players was in the news for something negative happening at a bar or nightclub.
Club or yeah.
And the last thing, we haven't had that in a couple of seasons.
Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah, and even the one we did, he's not on the team anymore. So Stewart had a lot of positive to say. It really made me feel good about the club with somebody that's you know followed the sport their entire lives. He's an elder to me, and really knows his stuff about the sport. And to say that we're doing it the right way made me feel better. Kind of confirmed something I already knew, but hearing somebody, an outside person, say that like David was saying, these guys in the UK and elsewhere, they don't need Orlando City. They have that hole is filled by their own local club, and the fact that they're willing to do that really says something about the club, and about their commitment, the fans and supporters' commitment to the sport.
All right, so we are having a friendly, if you want to call it that way. I call it a cash grab. This coming up Friday down at Raymond James Stadium, the home of the Buccaneers. Um, we're gonna gloss over this because I think there's more important things to talk about. But I don't think that either club is gonna be bringing their best players. The prices are extremely high. They're super expensive. I know that for the casual fan, perhaps it's an opportunity to quote unquote go and watch some good football. So to the Tampa Bay casuals, you're gonna enjoy yourselves seeing two MLS teams going at it. But I honestly, I wouldn't drive an hour and 30 minutes on I-4 traffic on a Friday afternoon to one of the worst neighborhoods in Tampa to go see them. So I don't know what you guys, if you guys have any comments on that.
I mean,
Nope.
like, go ahead, John.
No, Miss Al, you have something to say? That was Miss
No,
Al.
no, I was just saying no. Like I agree with him, and I'm not attending that.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what David said. On the subject, I sent it in the group chat. I think it was last week. Somebody, one of the MLS contributors, if you want to call that, they just chase Messi around. I'll put it that way, since we're a family friendly show, and try to make Messi into something that he's not. Um, Asked, is Messi mania over? And it was just one of those, I was scrolling through, saw the post, and then it had a comment right under the post without me clicking on the post, because I wasn't going to click on it anyway. But it was a LAFC fan, LAFC fans account that said, yes, it's been over since they played Orlando in Leagues Cup 2 seasons ago, which really speaks a lot about how followers of this league feel about Messi and feel about Miami, how they know it's just a cash grab, get rich quick situation for Miami and for the league, and how the league's completely mishandled. One of the biggest top two, you could argue number one most famous players ever in the sport, and you know they just mismanaged it. And Stewart kept saying how, in 3 to 5 years Miami may not even have a team because they'll be bankrupt, paying all these old players that have just retired. And it's just 100% a cash grab.
Yeah. I just don't think it's fair to the fans, because they're charging those prices because people are expecting to go and see those names. So they have to go.
Yeah, it's obscene that they're taking advantage of that. Also, a reminder today, we had a close door scrimmage against the USL Championship 2020-24 runner-ups, Rhode Island FC. They had a fantastic season last year, their inaugural season, I believe, and so we did that. Obviously, the club has not shown any footage or said what was the score. So there was that. So this Friday, February 14th, we're closing our preseason, and that will set us to next Monday when we're gonna be previewing our first game for the season. guys, I can't believe that the preseason it's over. The postseason was non-existent, and wow, I don't know. I'm so used to having months and months of no football, and then all of a sudden, I mean, it seems like yesterday when we were talking about the end of the season. So, um, oh, another thing that I wanted to talk about. Surprising to see that Pato finally decided to come and pick up his 2022 Open Cup ring. So that was good to see. And one thing I believe that we did not touch last week is the fact that Orlando City is going to be playing Open Cup and the Leagues Cup this coming up year. I'm excited about that. We are the favorites in the Open Cup to
Wow.
win it, and I hope that we do. And I'm trying to stall here, so I'm trying to find the teams that are gonna be playing in those divisions, and perhaps one of you guys can get to it faster than I can. But it will be to me. It will be interesting to once again, um, lifting that trophy and getting a place in the champions CONCACAF Champions League. And not only that, uh, it's a trophy. It's a trophy that means something. That took us a lot of effort to win it. I feel that the fact that the teams that are gonna be playing in it are very small, sort of like cheapens the trophy now because it's not what it used to be where you had to play the whole league, all of
Hmm.
USL and everything. But nonetheless,
I got it pulled up, David. I found it.
thank you, my brother. So
So
who's playing from MLS? Who's playing the Open Cup this
yes,
2025?
MLS. There's 16 teams. They'll be entering in the round of 32. Starting alphabetical order, we got Austin, Charlotte, Chicago, DC, Dallas, Houston, Minnesota, Nashville, New England, NYCFC, Red Bull, New York Red Bulls, us, Philadelphia, Portland, San Jose, and St. Louis.
Okay, beautiful. And then in Leagues Cup, do you have that info? If you gotta look for it, we got a comment so
Sure,
we
all
can
the
read that.
MLS teams are in the League's Cup.
Yep.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that the teams in the Champions Cup were not going to be part of Leagues Cup. Correct. So somebody can correct me either in the comments or
I don't recall, honestly.
okay. We got a comment.
Yeah, Misael, can you take it? You're muted.
Sorry,
It's
I was
okay.
drinking something. Book my tickets to come over again and watch the game against the Wake Ups in August. This will be 4 years in a row. I have been to see at least one game.
And that's from the Geordie Lion.
Storyline, yeah, sorry.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah, is that Jake? I
Might
think
be.
that's I think that's our good friend Jake from Newcastle.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Good to see. Good to hear from you. Um,
Yeah.
We have
hey, listen.
for League's Cup too when we're ready.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, brother.
So there's 18 MLS teams, 18 Liga MX teams. Um, MLS is Atlanta, Charlotte, Cincinnati, Colorado, Columbus, Houston, Miami, LAFC, LA Galaxy, Minnesota, Montreal, NYCFC, New York Red Bulls, us, Portland, Real Salt Lake, San Diego, and Seattle.
Very well. Very well. Personally, oh, okay. I thought I was muted. Personally, I think that we have to come up with a format that satisfy everybody. In my opinion, the format where only the top four teams from each division in the U.S. and the Mexican teams. Um, I think that worked out best. It was sort of rewarding the club for having a good season. The way they were doing it before, where it's like everybody makes it, it's sort of devalues the event. And I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to gift that cup for to Messi. So because I mean they were always engineering a way for them to be in the club World Cup, and it just worked out that they won the supporter shield, and they got in there that way. Never mind that we did not rewarded our champion in league champion the way we should have, but that's a story for another day. But anyways, you know what? Not for nothing. I'm all for winning hardware, all for lifting hardware. So hopefully our boys can have a good tournament on both, and have another possibility to lift a trophy.
Well,
So
funny thing about Miami last year, winning, having the most points in the league, is they didn't even get a trophy for it. Because their supporters, the supporters cup, you have to be a part of
A council. It's a council, right?
council, yeah,
really,
in the U.S. And they weren't admitted into that or wouldn't accept
well,
whatever. Their supporters groups weren't, and so they don't get the supporter shield.
yeah, I heard that we are the same way. We don't have
We are now. The Ruckus joined.
oh, the Rockets joined.
Ruckus joined beginning of January, I believe.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Well, it was about time. Only took a decade. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. That to me, it's important. It's imperative that we're part of these organizations that curate and promote the sport. Once again, and I don't mean to sound like a broken record. Um, the event with Oscar Pareja and Luis Musi is gonna be at the stadium on what everybody knows as the West Club. So, and if you're a season ticket holder, it's a free ticket. I do not know if you are just a regular fan, if the event is gonna be open for people. It might be. Either way, if you have the opportunity to go. Because if we don't support this type of events, then the club is gonna be like, why bother? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
I
once
totally agree.
again, it's in all over the world. Before the season, the opportunity to talk to the manager is always a great opportunity for people to see what we're up to, and for the club to have taken this initiative, we have to reward the club by saying, hey, we care about this stuff. Let's do it. And guys, I see that we got the events to happen before kickoff. What we got there?
Oh, was that David? I'm sorry.
Well,
Go ahead.
the 10th was already Magnet Monday, so the 12th we got the jersey launch. The 13th we got Bingo and Beats Lions edition. 14th the preseason game. The 18th Loggers with the Lions. 19th the Lions Den Chalk Talk, and the 22nd is the home opener.
Yeah, the Chalk Talk is the event that I was talking about. The one before that is for the youngsters. It's for those guys 21 and over that want to hang out with players and get some cocktails. I believe the Kyle Smith is going to be bartending. And from people that I know, they say the man is gifted.
Wait, so he's not
So
only a CPA, but he can bartend too?
right, he
What
he
the
you
heck?
know
Dude,
he CPAs in the morning.
The
He
vest.
is your right back and emergency center back in the evenings, and then after dark,
this
he he,
guy's
he
like the
can make
triple
your
threat,
mojito.
man.
He had
He's a
to get his
triple
way
threat.
through college somehow. I mean,
Yeah, Renaissance man,
three
the
schooling
Kyle
now.
Smith, Renaissance
He's
man.
heavy-handed.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, anyways, I encourage everybody to try to pick one of these events. And I know, listen, I know everybody wanted the 5K, but it's over. Maybe work it out to remind the club that if you're gonna start traditions that people are looking forward to, you can't pull the rug from under us. We got another comment uh
The
by
Jordy Lion, yeah.
Jordy
Yeah,
Lion.
he was just confirming that it was him and he'll be
Oh,
in town,
right
you
on,
know.
my brother.
Yep,
Right on,
yep.
my
That's what I
brother. Jake is a man that has lives on caffeine, because I watch games or I'm on my way home and I hear this man 3 o'clock in the morning UK time talking as if it was the middle of the afternoon. Got done watching the game. So it's always good to hear from you, brother. It's always good to see you as well. Although I think I missed you the last time you were in town. So, guys, anything else that we haven't covered? It's first of all, guys, just to let you know, we're first time we're using a new platform. We're broadcasting in Instagram for the very first time. So we're now live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and coming up on TikTok. So we just wanna, cover as much as possible, and we're gonna. It's a work in progress because we're learning to use our new platform, and of course, if you don't catch this live, you can always do so on YouTube and on wherever you consume audio, your audio podcast. We are there as well. So this is once again a platform for the fans to chew the fat, talk. You can comment live like many of you have done already. I don't know how many are watching live because with the new app I don't get to see how
Yeah.
many of you are out
There's
there.
about, I think there's about 35 people at least
Okay,
watching.
thank you.
Yeah, there's about 35 people watching. So thank you all for watching. We have a couple more images I think that we wanted to share, David. John, do we know if this is actually confirmed in any way
It's
yet?
all but confirmed.
Is
That's
it?
what it is.
That's what it is. It's all
Oh
but
my God.
confirmed. I mean,
Well,
it's
the new FIFA game put a picture up of the kits, and this one was on there.
I believe the logo is a little less faded than that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we would hope so. And then, I mean, the big thing that I wish they would have done differently
Is it really
is,
called the Hurricane Kit? Is that
yeah,
what they're going with?
I
Oh, I
wish
thought we got
the
Tone deaf if it is.
I thought we got ran over by a car.
Oh my
Looks like
God.
tire marks.
I'm sorry.
I really wish
Hurricanes are not to be
the shoulders
celebrated,
they
guys.
would have made gold. The stripes on the shoulders they would have made gold.
Oh my God.
I think
Yeah,
that would have made it look a lot
I-
I think
cleaner.
that
I'm gonna
was
tell
it.
you.
I would like an all gold kit.
I mean, listen, when they came out with the kit for this last kit, the one that John has on, it took a little while for that to grow on me because when you see it, you didn't at first, the color and everything. I'm really hoping this looks better in person than it does in this picture.
Yeah,
Because it's like,
Well, I gotta be honest. And this is a conversation I had with Stu on Saturday. We were talking about our kids because
yeah.
obviously both both of our clubs use Macron. A very football brand. Not to say that Adidas is not, but it's more like grassroots. Old
Mhm.
school type, and the designs to me are killer. And Adidas is sort of like okay, sometimes falls flat. But our last two away kits have been golden, have been jewels,
Yeah.
classic. I have people that are not fans of Orlando City buying them because collectors because it's,
Yeah.
it's
That
beautiful.
sunshine kit, let me tell you, that sunshine kit was nice, man.
oh yeah,
Yes, and
right.
the legacy, the honor,
Mhm.
the history that has been also a knockout. But
Yeah.
when it comes to our home kits, personally, I think the best we ever had so far that we've had is the 2017 with the collar.
The
It just
collar,
looks so classic. It's just so classic. I mean, you can wear that to the office if you had to. You know what I mean? It just looks nice. And if this is the kid, listen, I'm gonna buy one because I'm a sucker for throwing money
Yeah,
to football.
I
Stu
know.
was telling us a story that he buys two kits, one to get it signed by the players and
Yeah,
one to
and went to
wear,
where?
and that his wife was always upset. Listen, if you look at my, I don't know if you guys remember that movie. What was that character that always? My goodness. He was always playing cat. It wasn't Pee Wee Herman. It was the other guy. um, Ernie. I don't know. Anyways, He had that scene where he opens up his closet and he's all the same outfit. So that's me. It's just football jerseys, cargo shorts. That's it. That's all I have. That's all I wear. And now it's gonna drive me crazy because Ernest. It was Ernest.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
my honor thy history kid. I got it signed by Janssen, so I have to. I feel like I have to buy another one because I don't want to wear that one.
Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. If you get a kid sign, you just that's it. It's on the wall. I have. Wow, I probably have signed jerseys. I would say probably 10 of them, between the clubs that I follow. And and to be honest with you, man, getting a kid sign is just mythical. The one time when at the beginning of the year when we had the Honor That History Night, I had a 2014 game. Excuse me, 2014 USL kit, and I forgot to bring it to get a sign. So shame on me. But if you have the opportunity to get signed memorabilia, go ahead and do so.
Yeah, as far as kits go, I mean, my favorite home one was probably, I'd agree with David, the 2017 one. I used to have it, and it accidentally got tossed in the dryer, and
Oh.
the patch kind of went off, and then I gained a decent amount of weight, and it no longer fit me. But yeah, I mean the gold on top of the shoulders and the collar, and then it also had, because it was the first season of the stadium. It had the coordinates of the stadium
Oh, nice.
Correct.
on the inside of the collar.
Yeah,
Around
that's fire.
No, correct. I mean, not for nothing. I will always buy the home kit. I was always partial that the away kits were not very good, but the last two, my goodness, that and the sea cows, the one that they came
The
up
sea
with.
cows.
Yeah, I bought that one, man. I
I
had
mean,
to.
this one, looking at it more here on here, it honestly looks like a training kit that they slapped our patch and the Adidas logo on.
Honestly, you know what, John? Here's the thing. I had a picture of my. Now that you're saying that, uh, my son was playing this weekend, right? Look at his jersey. Look at his kit.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Oh
look
yeah.
that
Every
same.
time every time I go to the games and I see kids with those, I'm always jealous. I'm like, I want that.
But I'm saying, like, they have. I don't know.
Yeah.
OCB had some bangers that are never available for sale. And again, once
OCB
again,
one last year was
I
amazing.
like the RCB ones.
Oh, and it had the
yeah.
darker purple stripes going up it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, once
The
again,
OTB one,
guys,
yeah. That's
short of giving this club a gun and my credit card and just saying just do whatever you want with me. I don't know what else to say to this club. Listen, football fans love to throw money away. Okay,
yeah.
that's how it is. And sometimes I feel that the club is just very lighthearted on the opportunities to make money out of us. I'm telling you something that my wife right now probably is cursing to the heavens. But the fact is that listen, let us buy the kits that we want. At the end of the year, one thing that they did one year that was gorgeous was that all the training tops, all the stuff that the players wore, they had. You will go to the stadium. I think was 2019 or 2020, and you will go and there will be a pile of worn stuff, and you will buy that. You like dig it out and just oh look, Benjamin Shell's training gear, boom, and they were like, okay, well, just give me $30 for it, and I saw people literally throw $2,000 on gear that they were just gonna throw away.
Oh my god.
Well, and I mean, I feel like part of the reason, not just not kind of off topic with the jerseys being bad, but a couple of years ago, we went to the Orlando City outlet store over in Kissimmee, the one, David, that you referred us to.
Hmm.
And the guy said the issue is the last couple seasons, Fanatics has been doing the distribution of the jerseys instead of the MLS or Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot less gear to go around. I mean, you look at the shirts they've had just regular cotton shirts they've had the last 2 seasons, and they've been pathetic. And then, David, I'm sure you've ran into this. Try to find a little kid's Orlando City gear.
Oh, forget about it.
You can't. You'd be better going to Goodwill or Once Upon a Child, and you'd have more luck than
Yeah.
Remember,
one
you
of the
guys remember when they used to have the 10th event right before the season
Yes,
started?
yes,
Mhm.
that was the best, man.
Yeah,
I bought kids for $25, authentics.
man, all that leftover stuff from all the over. I'm telling you. Listen, Jared, I know you're watching. Come on, brother, listen to us. You know what I'm saying? Come on, the fans want this, and it's not
I
happening.
just I wish MLS was Nike.
Yeah.
I wish the MLS clubs could choose who they wanted to, have their own kit
Or
sponsor.
that, yeah.
But since of the way the league is, and they're all franchises of the MLS and not their own
Yeah, that ain't gonna
independent
happen.
clubs,
Too
it's
much
never
money
going
in
to happen.
that.
Just like any other league in the U.S. I mean, look at every other professional league; they all have same sponsor down the board.
Yep. All right. Um. So, thoughts of the signings? Anything that you're extra excited about before we?
Listen, I think our club once again put effort. Like everything, football is a pound of talent and an ounce of luck, and hopefully that will pan out. I'm excited. I'm excited, and for the new season, right? You're excited too, and I think we just gotta let time go by, and listen, this can go horribly wrong or incredibly great, but we have to trust the process. I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt.
David's had a couple days to think about it. He was every time Marco touched the ball Saturday, he'd lean over to me and go, "This man's making me fall in love with him. You better stop it. I'm going to leave my wife."
All his
Yeah.
athletes, all the itches are good. In
Yeah.
basketball and football doesn't matter.
Well, and
Yeah.
in my opinion, he could potentially be exactly. And I know I said this in our group chat. Exactly what we need. We need that bulldog on the
Mm-hmm.
attack that's
Yeah.
willing to just take the ball and go with it. And we saw it. Missed. I know Miss Io, you missed it, but he received the ball on our defensive half of midfield and drove it. There's no other way to put it. He drove it right down the teeth of the defense. And yes, it got tackled away at the edge of the box, but like I said earlier in the show, we haven't had anybody do that really since Nani, or maybe even before Nani and Kaká, where they just took the ball and drove it. And the other thing I liked, and maybe it's because he only had a couple of days of training before the match, but every time he caught the ball, you always saw him face our attacking goal first, instead of what Facundo used to do was he would catch it and immediately turn backwards
Pass
to
it backwards. Yeah.
pass it backwards. So um, one of the guys we were sitting with, after the first touch really that Marco had, um, is like this right side could be one of the more exciting things in the MLS with Dagger Dan and his skills on the ball, and Marco and what he can do with the ball, as far as making people look silly and just be absolute techers on that right side every match, if we actually attacked on that right side.
Yeah. And you know what? I noticed it in the beginning, in the very beginning of the game. Uh, Dagger was like ready to attack, and he was getting frustrated because he wasn't getting the ball.
Hmm.
Like he was ready to go, and he was just like it was going everywhere else. And he looked back at Schlegel like what, you know, and so I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm just trying to temper my expectations at this point until I see what happens on the 22nd. put it that way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from I didn't get to make it to the game, but from his highlights, Marco, he seemed like you said, he doesn't seem afraid to take a player one on one. And what I loved the most was that his highlight package, he tends to shoot a lot from the outside of the box instead of trying to walk it in. And he's
Hopefully,
not
it stays
afraid.
that way. Hopefully it
Yeah,
stays that way. That's the ticket.
He shot a lot. He had a lot of based on his stats from this season. He shot a lot. He only has 10 goals to this point. I think it was like 18 goal contributions, if my memory serves me right. But he had a shot Saturday when they were attacking to the opposite side from where we were sitting that almost curled into that back post. I mean, he has a foot on him. He has a left foot on him. That's for sure. That thing was hit, and a term that I heard is it looked like it was a heavy ball. If that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Some guys can hit it just as hard and it be easy to control by the keeper, but it looked like it was a heavy ball that he hit, and a lot of promise with him, a lot of promise with Atuesta coming in, and it could be if we can find somebody to put the ball in the back of the net, it could be a fun season. But if it looks like it did Saturday night, it'll be a very long season. I'm Saturday night in the first half. I'm not talking about the second half of the second half and then the extra period because that was mainly Orlando City B players. But the first half was frustrating. It could have, if we had anybody that could put the ball in the back of the net, it would have been, should have been 2-0 at half. I thought that they played well enough to really take the lead in the half, and it was good to be out there. It was fun to see as irritating and kind of worrisome as it was to see the chippiness on Saturday. It was good to see. My favorite chippy part of the match was when Shaq Muhammad was one-on-one with the keeper and kind of lunged at the ball as the keeper was diving for it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a little scuffle right there. And Schlegel's back on the other side of midfield. I don't know if you remember this. And literally, I see I never do this because everything sitting in the wall is always in front of me. And especially that would have been right in front of me, so I would have been trying to see what was going on. But I literally look back, and here comes Schlegel streaking 70 yards down the field to get involved.
Yeah.
What I like about the Atuesta signing is that he knows the league already. He's been here, and obviously with LAFC, which is a team that's always striving to win the whole thing. That's what I like about him the most. And like you said, among the other things that you said about him, am I missing something? Did I not catch something? Or is Schlegel, was he named the captain
No,
He was.
the captain for the one match.
for the one match?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but at the friendly, who was the captain? I thought that was Schlegel.
No, Janssen was the captain. Janssen had the armband. So
Okay. Good deal.
it was just the
Oh,
one.
Janssen was the captain versus Montreal. Janssen was the captain versus Montreal.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I think we're reaching out the end of the show. If we have any comments that we haven't read, I guess this will be the time. I just want to remind everybody that we're gonna be able to. You're gonna be able to find us on audio wherever you consume your podcast usually. Reminding everybody that we are on all the apps known to mankind. At on the couple stand. No, on the couple stand. A 90-minute podcast. And so, thank you very much for the people that were watching us live, for the people that are going to watch us later or listen to us later. I appreciate that. This officially concludes the preseason. Next Monday, we're going to be talking about our home opener, the preview to our home opener. So I am super excited. I don't know about you. 7:30 on the 22nd. All roads lead to 655 West Church Street at Inter & Co. Stadium. Be there or be square. The only excuse that not to be there is you're either in an ICU bed or in another country. That's it. There's no excuse. You gotta be there. You gotta support the Lions. That's pretty much it. If we have any comments, guys, let's go ahead and cover those.
No, we're good. We're gonna be
I
covering.
love that it's a night game.
Oh, it has to be, bro. And the temperatures are gonna be cooler than what they
Nice.
have been, so it's gonna be an interesting. Remember, guys, whatever happens, we're gonna find out in 90 minutes. So be there. Let's support the Lions, and we'll be seeing you next Monday. Thank you again for supporting us, and hopefully, as we transition into this new version of the show, you guys are gonna find value into it. Let a friend know, And again, we're always a platform for the fans, a platform for just to discuss. If we're not the tacticians and we're not the insiders, we're just four guys that love Orlando City, and we're gonna talk about our perspective of the game from our point of view. And hopefully you will enjoy that. And once again, thank you for very much to the people that comment, the people that are watching us live, the people that are going to listen to us and watch us later. It's always appreciated. The show's for you. That's the only reason why we do it.
And one last thing, really quick, if for those that may be watching on something other than YouTube, that usually watch through YouTube and had trouble finding us, whether it didn't come up in your subscription feed, which it should, or if you usually just search for us, you'll be if you want to watch on YouTube next week instead of one of the other platforms. Every one of our social media should have our link tree in it. And it has a link to all of our socials. So if you follow us on X and you want to find our Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or Blue Sky. I don't know if Blue Sky is actually on there, but any of our other socials, it'll be in that link tree in our bio in our profile. Just click on that. Follow us on everything. Subscribe on YouTube. If you subscribe on YouTube and you want to watch on YouTube, it should show up in your subscription feed that we're on there. Just since we changed the name of the show on there, it takes a little bit for YouTube to realize that we're not a new channel, that we've been here for a while. So just bear with us while that goes through, and check out our other socials if you're only on a couple of them, and follow us everywhere. We're going to do a better job of keeping up on the TikTok this year. And we've always been on Instagram and Facebook and X.
All right. So thank you everybody for watching. We're going to leave you the only way we know how, by reminding you that football is played on grass, not on paper. No matter how good the highlight reels look, that football is cruel and unpredictable. That football is a pound of talent and an ounce of luck. And if you have not cried for joy or anger over football, have you really ever footballed in your life? For Mikael, John, David, and myself, may God bless you. And as always, vamos, Orlando!